I was a very toxic soldier at one point in the Army. All I cared about was being the best combat engineer, knowing all of my demolitions, outperforming my other peers. However, I had a very dirty barracks room, I didn't care about layouts, I didn't care what my uniform looked like, and it was getting pretty bad. In fact, one day, my lieutenant and my platoon sergeant, who's now passed away, they pulled me inside our office and told me, "You are the absolute worst and most terrible soldier when we're not training. When you are training, you are incredible, you're doing the best, and I'm not tooting my own horn, this is all for a lesson." Because of my toxic behaviors, I missed out on a lot of opportunities, but even worse, it was rubbing off on the other soldiers. Now, anyone will tell you that a toxic environment in the Army is very easy to come by. You always have what's called a toxic leader who pretty much wants to destroy your life so that they can look good. But on the opposite spectrum, you sometimes have the toxic soldier who can ruin it for other soldiers. For example, I never cared about our layouts. You always hear about soldiers having to lay out their equipment for like the 5th time in the week. That was me. I never cared. I told my guys, just lay it out. Whatever happens, happens. But the issue is, if you can't take care of the small details such as getting your uniform right, taking care of a layout, then you're gonna have issues when you're actually starting to do your job. And the reason why I'm making this video is because every soldier goes through some sort of toxic phase. And sometimes we don't even realize it. A lot of the times when you're getting out of the Army, soldiers turn a little toxic and maybe even get a little selfish because no one's gonna be there for you when you get out of the Army. But sometimes we become toxic while we're in the middle of our contract and maybe we didn't get something our way, so you get a little salty. And that was me. I would definitely get a little salty as a soldier if we performed the best as a team, yet we got nothing for our actions. In fact, we got even more work placed on us, and it just became a very toxic environment. Now, I'm not saying you should look for awards, but what I am saying is you shouldn't have expectations for your actions. And if you are someone who's going to join the Army, I want you to remember that. A lot of the times, you might be the best soldier ever, but the actions and the way you perform, not always in uniform, could affect everything around you. So me not thinking having the best uniform was a big deal, it actually was to the higher ups. It showed that, hey, if that soldier has a nice uniform and he's taking care of himself and he's really good in training and at his job, we can trust him more and maybe we can even promote him a little faster. Now, I'm not always saying this is what's going to happen, but I do think what will happen is your actions will rub off on the younger guys. And at the end of the day, that's really what is important. You don't want to screw other people over because of your behaviors. And me being toxic, I don't think it screwed over people, but I do think that because, hey, if Marcus is being toxic, I can be toxic too, and I don't care what my uniform looks like. And I think a lot of the times you watch videos and you get a false sense of reality to what the military can be like. So just take it from me, who's coming out and saying I was a toxic soldier at one point, and it took me quite a while to realize that, hey, I should probably try a little bit harder while not training. Just take care of yourself and take care of the people around you, because you being toxic really can ruin it for everybody else.